Hey, thanks for joining. Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. We are live, and we are going to be talking about the joy of collecting Geeki Tikis. And as always, we're joined by Mr. C. Mr. C, how are you doing today?
Happy to be back as always, sir. Happy to be discussing the lighthearted and the fun revelry that goes with the Geeki Tiki business.
Awesome. And this is more your thing than mine. Here's the thing. We're talking about Geeki Tikis. This is more your thing than mine. I only have like one or two sets, and I'm new to the Geeki Tikis, space, I guess. So, tell us a little bit about Geeki Tikis, Mr. C, and what might we be checking out today?
So yeah, how did either of us come upon Geeki Tikis as a thing that exists in the world? We'll have to give credit to the Fanboy Cantina art director and logo designer, Mr. Itahara, who first a few years ago started dropping them in the Christmas stocking, and from there I branched out a bit. But it was just like such a great visual and such a fun item to have. So that's kind of it. It just picked up some momentum.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big the Geeky Tiki thing is. I love it's kind of like Funko in that they've got their own brand, and then they've added these licenses to expand their own lines. And so I took a moment to look at the Geeky Tiki site, and there are just tons of licenses. I had no idea how big this thing is. It's. I was astounded. I had no idea.
Now, a fair number of those might list as you click on them or go further in.
Mm-hmm.
A fair number of them might still say coming soon, but that's the thing. They're constantly in process of expanding their lines, and so one might say there's something for everybody, or at least there's a heck of a lot of items to appeal to a heck of a lot of interests.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. C, what would you like to share with?
Well, let's pick up where we left off
yeah.
last. We were doing a bit of Creature of the Black Lagoon specialty show last time, and at that time we had highlighted this very Geeky Tiki mug right here, the Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Nice.
So, as you can see that, and then they have their logo on the bottom for Geeki Tikis. So then they, again, within that product line of Universal monster characters, we have a Dracula. And again, it's obviously it won't affect the flavor of your beverage, but it can make for just a nice visual aesthetic and conversation piece to go along with you're having whichever kind of drink you're making use of. So from Dracula, we'll move to the Mummy, a good old little Boris Karloff tribute. Again, if we turn them around, you can see they have the simulated wood knot in a lot of them. That's kind of a signature mark.
Wow.
They tend to have the blocked out, almost like a Jack Kirby pencil and ink work for the proportion on the hands. Different stylistics, but that's it. So from one Karloff to the next, here comes Frankenstein, good old Frankenstein himself. Again, that simulated wood knot piece is incorporated in a couple different spots. And let's get old Frankie's monster his due to get a full look at him there.
I hadn't realized the carving that it's good that you call out the knot thing, because I hadn't picked up on that. And with the Frankenstein one, it's well integrated into the I guess the bolts of Frankenstein. That's really cool.
Completely agree, and that's what makes they each have their little features. Mm-hmm. So again, if you're having guests or hanging around, and it's again, it just makes another way to have good lighthearted conversation, good companionship, all part of having a little bit of recreation and fun.
Very cool.
Now, oddly, then, since the bride wasn't all that interested in the motion picture of making a companionship with the Frankenstein monster herself, but here she is. And the color variations are all from one to the next really interesting. Uh, I like that there's, as is traditional from the film and from other, action figure or other model representations, the Bride of Frankenstein is very similar wrappings to what the Mummy has. So here she is. That's what we have on the. I almost forgot one of my old time pals, the Wolfman. I really like his smile. This guy took a little dive one day, so he's got a little scuff on his nose and on his knuckle. But hey, maybe that's just another story to tell about what happened to the character. So I really like his facial expression. I really, get a little a Warren Zevon reference. His hair is perfect. So we're good. That are the classic monsters line. That's what they have. They definitely have other monster related or other horror related characters. So if we'll jump then over to a little bit of on the super side.
Ooh.
So here's a Superman rendered in blue. Again, the cape through the cape, besides the knotwork, just to have like wood split or splinters within the wood, in what would be wood if they were made from wood. So it's a neat approximation or a nice conceit they have in the design of the characters. So from Superman, then to Aquaman, there are a few varieties of Aquaman. This is a more comic accurate depiction, but they also have the more Aquamomoa, Jason Momoa style, the movie style with the longer hair. But again, the mesh, it's really neat integration of the mesh into the ceramic format. And so there we have the King of the Seas. Going next, just one more Justice League character to go as Cyborg. So now we have a technology-based character with a wood knot in his forehead symbol there. So again, let me get nice and close there to see again, it's impressive that they can put, as are for so many of these products, impressive that they can put so much detail into the finished product. So there are those, and I have again, as you illustrated, they have so many different intellectual properties or so many different companies or characters involved. So let's come now to the Star Wars side, and here we have who at the time we were calling Baby Yoda, who we can now also refer to as Grogu. I suppose maybe for a person who is having a smaller beverage, which might sometimes be referred to as a shot, that might be the right way to go with that size. To the more traditional Yoda, who's at his full on size. Again, the carving work is something that's impressive to me. It's pretty neat, a little character prop for his walking stick. I don't put them in the dishwasher, and Yoda's ears are a perfect example of why not. So the Wolfman already had a little ding on his knuckle, so I go with hand wash on these. There's also the matter of color fading. They are built to be able to withstand the dishwasher. Just that's my individualized choice. Here's a little, as long as we're having so many green guys in a row, look at the nice shine on this guy, a little Gamorrean guard for you. Again, pretty true to his appearance in Return of the Jedi. They got the snout. Let's get a good close up on the snout there. Look at this guy. He's ready to get eaten by the Rancor monster.
That one is huge. That was a huge one. I mean,
so
the three that you just had, it's just, you see the scale between the very small baby. Well, yeah, you got right the Yoda and then the Gamorrean guard, and it's nice. It's nice how they're able to incorporate scale a bit within that line. Yeah,
absolutely.
And there you go.
They're not just cookie cutter size.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so to close out, this is a piece that you had sent to me, and look at how good it looks, and look at all the enjoyment I've gotten out of out of the Mandalorian. Again, a very standard in what they do. It's kind of blocked out. There's some knee bend in a lot of them, but also very individualized and character accurate. It's got a good close up of his head detail
Nice.
up there. Real nice. Real nice. So yeah, these are just a little bit of fun, and another thing then to complement the Geeky Tikis. Then, well, when you're putting your drink down, maybe you're talking with your hands and making a point. Maybe your head, So where do you rest your drink then? So for that, I'm going to do a little intersection here off of the artist Shag. Josh Agel has a bunch of actual art that can be purchased off of his website or in some of his actual stores. But then we were going with a little bit of coaster work here with some fun party atmosphere, lighthearted coasters. So just trying to have some fun stuff to do and hang out with. So those first four that I showed there was out of one set, and then this is another set. This one is kind of a creature of Black Lagoon, similar kind of face here. Oh, look, there's the art director himself showing up in the comments. So in case he hadn't been here the full time, we just want to reiterate that credit to him for within our group being the discoverer of the Geeki Tikis, which here we are now a few years later, still appreciating and enjoying and having fun with. I think you're on mute.
It's what month is this? What year is this of the pandemic? And I was muting myself before the show too. Okay, I love that you incorporated the shag right there, because that was those are really wonderful pieces. I think that the Geeky Tiki line, I only have, I think, this one. And I'm being very delicate about it. I think you actually gave this to me for Christmas one year, which is, well, what? Why is this? Look at this.
That's
what is happening here?
Well, you're not working off of a green screen in the first place, and again, the characters are that should wonder. This guy, is it this? But it looks
you can see through my head.
So it's not even your shirt that wow. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm not smart enough or knowledgeable enough to know how to explain that, but it's still kind of neat that it happened.
This is why I need to show up for rehearsal. Wow, that was different. Okay, so I got to turn off the. Okay, now I got it. Does this work?
There it is.
So, this is the one that I have. This is the 3-pack, and I think it's the one of the other two that you had shared earlier here. I like the detail in the eyes as well. It's not just that they painted it, in a dark green. It's there's a little bit more to it, and of course this is Grogu chowing down on a frog or whatever it is in season 1. So I like that. But I've got this kind of fear about glass, so I tend to keep these. I've been keeping this in the box, all kind of pristine, so I don't. I'm being very gentle about putting it back in the box, so I don't.
Technically, they aren't glass; they're ceramic, but we can extend the glass concern over to that.
Yeah. And then of course, a little bit TMI right there. But
yeah.
What's your favorite beverage to drink out of a tiki glass, Mr. C?
Well, by frequency, most often what I fill these tiki glasses with is water. I've also been known to do coffee / iced coffee in them. I've also enjoyed a Guinness from out of them. So yeah, I mean, I guess typically it would be a more what would be considered a Hawaiian drink, something that might be on the menu of a Polynesian restaurant or a tiki bar. But so far I haven't done it. So there you go. There's more room for me to make merriment with these and to continue to put different drinks into them. Well, they've been in the box for you, so you probably haven't.
Well, that's just it. My view of the Geeki Tiki franchise is that they're kind of display pieces, and I love the design. I love the artwork. I don't have many of them. I have the set that you gave me, and then I have another set as well. But that's kind of it. So for me, they're really display pieces. I get again a little bit nervous about breaking them. They are, ceramic, and so this is, the ears are a little fragile here. Fragile, delicate. Yeah. And this is a great question because I don't know the answer to this. Are they dishwasher safe? I don't think they are. I wouldn't chance it personally.
Well, again, I think they're built to be dishwasher safe, but as a personal choice, and so there's breaking or there's fading. So clearly, by hand washing them, they'd be less likely to lose color over time. So maybe next time we'll do a washing the Geeki Tikis demo. I don't know how good, how content worthy that might be. But yeah, so to avoid chips and to avoid color fade, I do go with hand wash. And if Mr. Urahara is able to comment, what beverages has he included in his own set of the product, that he can feel free to comment that into the comments if he's able.
Yeah, no. If you're watching later, post down in the comments whether you use it, for your own entertainment, or is it more of a display piece? Yeah, I would be really uncomfortable. I mean, because there are also some details within the inside. It's not a straight glass, right? So there's details within there, shaping within there. So
here, let's see if I can get.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
there is bridge work in there, so maybe on the old Gamorrean guard it would show more clearly, since he's got his specific shape.
There you go. Yeah, you can clearly see it's not just a straight glass on the inside there. So I think you would have to do hand washing to get it remotely clean. Well, that's great. I mean, I really appreciate you sharing the Geeki Tiki collection that you have, and I want to spend some time looking at some of the other brands that, again, as we were just speaking about a moment ago, that they've got. Jared Mariyama is a favorite designer of actually Mr. Itahara, so I'm curious what that line looks like. I had learned a lot in just poking around that website. I just hadn't gotten around to checking that one out. So, any other thoughts that you have about?
Just as you're saying, there's a whole bunch of interesting creativity going on through the Geeki Tikis, as we had referenced. Shag, Josh Agel, through the coasters. Also, he does some limited edition stuff that kind of sells out kind of quickly. But yeah, his fun and party culture style is got rendered into some Star Wars Geeki Tikis, and I believe they have an Aloha shirt also. But it's good stuff to check out. It's good stuff to enjoy as we're coming into the colder weather. Then sometimes it's nice to have a little reminder of some summertime or some warmer climate enjoyment. So it's I guess they're seasonal for any season, and it's been a fun minute to be able to hang out and trade stories about Geeki Tikis.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little dark right there. I think as we get into the fall months, and it's getting a little bit chilly up here in Northern California. So I'm rocking my Aloha shirt here, and this is cool. looking at my Han Solo carbonite tiki cup. It's freaking huge. That is true. That is true. You
So
picked the
that one's
wrong
even
beverage.
bigger. Go ahead.
You picked the wrong beverage. It could knock your socks off. Drinking out of
Absolutely.
that Geeki Tiki. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, there should be a. I just saw on Twitter yesterday, and I actually bought it. There's a Funko Squid Games thing that's coming out, or a few, which is no surprise, right? Funko is like on top of every single franchise there is. But yeah, so I already got suckered into buying a Funko, even though I have said many times I don't collect Funko, but, but it suckered me in anyway. No, I don't think there is a Squid Games one yet. Have you seen the Squid Games, Mr. C?
I have yet to make it to see Squid Game, so I've only heard tell from you and from other parties in our chat conversation.
Yeah.
So I have yet to have firsthand experience with it.
You don't like the bloody kind of stuff, right? Or
So
violence.
yeah, I'm on the classic side of the horror side, the classic Universal side. The bloody stuff I tend to not have the best reaction to. I don't. I, I don't know how much I should embarrass myself with my own pain to relate the time back when we saw the Blair Witch Project, and then
Oh
I
man.
sleeping with my shoes on for a few nights afterwards. So yeah, that stuff. I tend to not have the best response. In certain channel viewers, I would identify myself as a little bit similar to one Josh McCouga, who has been known to scream out loud during horror movie screenings.
Yes, that's right. It's like a thing. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good question. What's your favorite tiki cup out of your collection? So again, I only have like a handful, so I don't have that much to point at. But for you, Mr. C, you shared so many. Which is there a number one for you?
That's really tough. I mean, because right, whichever one you pick up, you're
Pick your favorite child. Pick your favorite child.
well. Let me say this guy, the Mandalorian, had the top contender spot for a good long time because just look at him while you're watching the show, Mandalorian. You can be drinking from a Mandalorian Geeki Tiki, and as we know from our last week installment, after a certain amount of time, I got on a real, and I'm currently on a real Creature of the Black Lagoon kick. So once the creature came into the connection, he has held the number one spot for a while. So I guess like music, like other things, the number one spot can change over time.
Yeah, I really like your monsters collection, honestly. I think that's like the perfect rendition of the Geeky Tiki look and applying it to a franchise. With the Superman one, it's a distinct blue, um, but it feels like it's more on that DC. It's on that pendulum. Am I Geeky Tiki or am I DC or in the franchise? And so this one's it leans closer to being the DC, more close to the DC franchise. Whereas I feel like the Wolfman and the Creature from the Black Lagoon, it's like more center, right?
More solid to what their identity, to their visual.
Exactly.
And yeah, I don't have another blue. We had a few shades of green, but just comparing the blue to the blue in my shirt to the closest thing we have to blue, the Bride of Frankenstein. So yeah, and I mean I can see why at certain points in Superman's history he'll be depicted with a more sky blue or a more pure blue. So this is definitely consistent with the years in which he was on a sky blue depiction. But yeah, he there's a certain maybe softness or boldness that doesn't go with the power of Superman.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like it. I like it still. It's just the different franchises and how they connect with. Yeah.
Right, as a color compare, right? So here you got Frankenstein, maybe referencing the black and white history of a creature that was in color rendered in green against the Gamorrean guard here. Definitely two drastically different shades of green they have going.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, I think that wraps us up here. Mr. C, thank you for sharing your collection. How awesome was that? And if folks want to look at more, check out geekytikis.com, where they've got all of the franchises listed and you can pick them up there. I think overall it's relatively affordable kind of thing to collect. I was looking at eBay. There's not that many of the astronomically expensive, things out there. I did see, and I want to check it out later. There was a Shag and Geeki Tiki crossover for Star Wars. Those are quite expensive.
Those are at absolutely a higher price point, as they say, or in more casual terms, you'll have to go deeper into your wallet to complete that transaction. So between that and them selling out, so we don't have any of the Shag Geeki Tikis in the collection in the house. It may happen one day. There are obviously other makers of tiki mugs who are not the Geeki Tiki company. I'd say Geeki Tiki is relatively new to the game by comparison, because tiki mugs go way farther back in time than the
Sure.
Geeki Tiki company. Some of those will cost more, some of those will cost less. So I'd say the Geeki Tikis are definitely most typically at a midpoint in a price range for buying tiki mugs.
Right. Now, and I love this idea. It's been a very long time. So Geeky Tiki Party sometime next year. That would be wonderful to do. And some kudos to you, Mr. C, for sharing your awesome collection. So thanks.
Thanks to Mr. Itahara for getting us introduced to all of this, and thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for hosting, and thanks for putting that style into that shirt that you're wearing, sir.
Well, and just share your shirt if you could, just so we can
Sure. So I was trying to get something that was. So we still got a little tiki imagery here, and then again, just the idea of fun stuff and bowling. So this was my dad's bowling shirt for his job way back in the day. So I don't know if he was the actual captain of the bowling team, or did he just like the title of Captain Morgan to go with the rum? But yeah, so we gotta continue to have fun and have good memories of old days and current days also.
Right. I'm hearing a Chicago song in the background in my head. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching. And if you have thoughts about the things that we've shared with you today, and if there was a favorite, post that down in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. And please take a moment to click the like, click the subscribe, follow us on YouTube and Twitter and on Instagram. Thanks for watching. This has been the Fanboy Cantina. Take care.